Okay, Virgo. Um, if you're here right now, I need you to know that this is not random. Spirit has been pushing me to do this reading all day, and I kept getting chills every time I thought about sitting down and pulling cards for you. So let me just let me take a breath for a second because the energy coming through is already so heavy. So just stay with me because what's about to be revealed, it's going to explain so much of what you've been feeling. And honestly, Virgo, I'm feeling something here. Like this person, whoever this is for you, they are on the verge of breaking their silence. And it's going to be raw, it's going to be honest, and you need to be prepared for what's coming. So let me pull the first card. Okay, I'm getting the King of Swords here. And Virgo, look at this. This king is sitting on his throne, stone-faced, serious, holding a sword upright in his right hand. The sky behind him is cloudy, turbulent. There are butterflies carved into his throne, symbols of transformation through mental clarity. And what I'm getting from this, what Spirit is showing me, is that this person has been in their head. They've been overthinking everything, every word, every move, every possible outcome of being honest with you. And the King of Swords, he rules with logic, with detachment. But Virgo, I'm feeling that this detachment, this coldness you may have experienced from them, it wasn't because they didn't care. It was because they cared too much. And they were trying to control their emotions by staying in their mind. And I'm seeing that this person is finally ready to cut through the confusion, to speak the truth. And when the King of Swords speaks, he doesn't sugarcoat. He says exactly what he means. And Virgo, this conversation that's coming, it's going to be direct. It might even feel a little harsh at first. Not because they want to hurt you, but because they've been holding back for so long that when the dam breaks, everything is going to pour out unfiltered. Let me pull what they've been hiding. And oh, I'm getting the Four of Cups here. Look at this card, Virgo. There's a figure sitting under a tree, arms crossed, looking down at 3 cups in front of them, completely disengaged and from the clouds. A hand is offering a 4th cup, but this person, they're not even looking at it. They're so lost in their own thoughts. And Spirit is showing me that this person has been emotionally unavailable. They've been feeling stuck, feeling disconnected from their own emotions. And Virgo, you may have felt this. You may have felt like no matter what you offered, they were somewhere else. They were unreachable. And what I'm picking up, what's coming through so clearly, is that this wasn't about you. This person has been battling with themselves, with their own inability to receive love, because somewhere deep inside, they don't feel worthy of it, or they're afraid that if they accept it, everything will change. And change is terrifying to them. So they stayed closed. And Virgo, in this honest conversation that's coming, they're going to admit this. They're going to tell you that their distance had nothing to do with how they felt about you and everything to do with their own fear. Let me slow down for a second because I'm getting another card and sigh. Okay, the devil is here. And Virgo, this card always makes me pause because the devil represents chains, obsession. Look at these 2 figures chained to this pedestal. But if you look closely, the chains around their necks are loose. They could remove them if they wanted to. And what Spirit is revealing here is that this person has been chained to their own patterns, to their own fear. Um, they've been obsessed with you, Virgo. Make no mistake about that. You have been on their mind constantly, but that obsession, it scared them because it made them feel out of control. It made them feel like you had power over them. And so they stayed attached to their toxic patterns of pushing away what they actually want. And um, what I'm feeling here is that in this conversation, they're going to confess the depth of their attachment to you. They're going to admit that you've had a hold on them that they couldn't shake, that they've been thinking about you constantly, unable to move on even when they tried. And Virgo, this might sound romantic, but it's also heavy because the devil shows that this person knows their behavior has been unhealthy and they can't do it anymore. The chains have to come off. The truth has to be spoken. Okay, so let me pull what they're afraid of, what fear is driving them to finally be honest. And I'm seeing the tower here. And you know, when the tower shows up, and it's always intense. Look at this tower being struck by lightning, people falling, the crown tumbling down. And what spirit is telling me is that this person had a tower moment recently. Something happened that shattered their illusion. Maybe they almost lost you completely. Maybe they realized you were pulling away. Maybe they had a moment of clarity where they saw their own patterns destroying something real. And the tower, it's the universe saying you can't keep living in denial. And this person, they experienced that. And now they're standing in the rubble of their own making. And they know, Virgo, that if they don't speak now, if they don't have this honest conversation, they're going to lose you forever. And that fear, that terror of permanent loss, it's what's pushing them to finally break their silence. I'm feeling pulled to see what they're going to actually say. And okay, the Ace of Cups is here, and this is beautiful, but also heartbreaking because look at this hand emerging from the clouds, holding a golden chalice, and it's overflowing. Water is pouring over the sides. 5 streams cascading down into a pond filled with lotus flowers, and a dove is descending. Everything about this card is pure emotion, pure love. And what I'm getting is that this person is going to offer you their heart. They're going to tell you that what they feel for you is real, that it's deep, that it's overflowing, that they can't contain it anymore. The Ace of Cups is the soul saying, I feel you, I see you, I want to connect with you on the deepest level. And this person, they're going to be vulnerable in ways you haven't seen. They're going to pour out emotions that they've been damming up for so long. And Virgo, I'm getting chills again, because this isn't going to be casual. When they speak, you're going to feel the weight of everything they've been carrying. You're going to understand why they pulled away, because what they feel is so intense, so consuming, that it terrified them into silence. Okay, let me see. Let me pull what they regret. And I'm getting the 5 of Pentacles and Virgo. This card always hits me because look at these 2 figures walking through the snow, injured, struggling, walking past a stained glass window lit from within of warmth, sanctuary, but they're outside in the cold. And what this is showing me is that this person regrets leaving you out in the cold. They regret making you feel like you were alone, like they weren't there when you needed them. And Virgo, you may have felt this. You may have felt like you were standing outside looking in, wondering why they couldn't just let you in. And in this conversation, they're going to acknowledge that. They're going to tell you that they see now how much pain they caused, how they left you in the cold while they stayed protected behind their walls. And the regret, Virgo, the regret is eating them alive. Let me sigh. Let me pull what you need to know before this conversation happens. And, okay, the High Priestess is here. And Virgo, this is you. This is your energy. Look at her sitting between two pillars, wearing a crown with the moon phases. And everything about this card is intuition, is inner knowing. And Spirit is telling you that you already know the truth, Virgo. Deep down, you felt it. Your intuition has been screaming at you this entire time. The High Priestess doesn't need words to understand. She reads energy. And Virgo, before this conversation happens, I need you to tune into your own inner wisdom, because when they finally speak, you're going to need to discern, is this truth? Or is this what they think you want to hear? Is this real growth? Or is this temporary panic? And only you can know that. Only your intuition can see through the veil. I'm being pulled to see what they want from you. And I'm getting the Two of Cups here. The partnership card. The soul connection card. Look at these two people standing face to face, holding cups, looking into each other's eyes. And above them is the caduceus with the lion head, symbols of healing. And what this is showing me is that this person wants union with you, Virgo. They want to stop playing games and actually build something real. And when they have this conversation, what they're really asking for is that you'll give them another chance, that you'll meet them in the middle and create something beautiful together. But Virgo, and I need to say this, wanting something and being ready for something are two different things. And just because they want the Two of Cups, just because they're finally being honest, doesn't mean they've done the inner work to sustain it. And that's where your High Priestess energy comes in. That's where you need to trust your intuition to see if they're truly transformed or just temporarily inspired. Let me pull what's going to happen after this conversation. And okay, I'm getting the Moon card, and the moon always makes me pause because look at this full moon glowing, a wolf and a dog howling, a path winding between two towers into the unknown. And what Spirit is showing me is that even after this honest conversation, there's still going to be uncertainty, Virgo. There's still going to be things that aren't fully clear. The moon represents the journey through the unknown and this situation. It's not going to be neatly resolved with one conversation. There's deeper work that needs to be done, deeper healing, and both of you are going to have to walk through some uncomfortable territory before you reach clarity. And I'm not saying this to discourage you. I'm saying this to prepare you, because the moon asks you to trust the journey even when you can't see the full path. Okay, so let me pull one more card. Let me see what Spirit wants you to remember. And I'm getting the Star here. And Virgo. After all these heavy cards, the star feels like such a gift. Look at this woman kneeling by the water, completely vulnerable, pouring water from 2 pitchers, and above her are 8 stars shining down. And everything about this card is hope, is healing, is divine guidance. The star comes after the tower, and it says, you survived, you're still here, and there's still hope. And Spirit wants you to know, Virgo, that no matter what happens in this conversation, you are going to be okay. You are being guided. The star is your North Star, reminding you that you are not lost. You are being led toward your highest good. And I'm getting this message so clearly that this honest conversation, it's not just about them, Virgo. It's about you too. It's about you speaking your truth, about you setting boundaries, about you honoring your own healing journey. The star asks you to stay connected to your higher self and to not dim that light for anyone. Because here's what I'm understanding. This person coming to you with honesty, it's growth, it's progress. But Virgo, you've been growing too. You've been healing too. And you can't go backwards. You can't abandon all the lessons you've learned just because they're finally saying what you wanted to hear months ago. So when this conversation happens, and it's going to happen soon, I want you to listen with an open heart, but I also want you to listen with discernment. I want you to feel into whether their words match their energy, whether you feel expansion or contraction in your body when they speak, because your body knows, your soul knows. And Virgo, whatever you decide, the star is confirmation that you are moving toward your destiny, that you are being divinely guided, that everything is unfolding